have been waiting for so long for spring, and it's finally here. And I'm so excited to share with you some of the spring finds that I've been collecting leading up to this video, including china and other thrifted items. If you follow me on Instagram, you may remember that I shared that I purchased a big lot of green china, not knowing exactly what I was getting, just that it was a crate and a storage tub full of green china, and I got the entire thing for $10. And it was so much fun going through all the pieces with you in that video on Instagram. You can find it over there still if you're interested. A few months ago, I was at the thrift store and I found this beautiful fabric by the yard from 1990. And I know the design is from then because it's printed on the side of the fabric along with the design name. And I just couldn't believe that I found just yards and yards of this fabric for a few dollars a piece. And I knew I wanted to do something with it. I wasn't quite sure what, but I added it to my stash. And then I finally decided to make curtains for this room. If you're new here, this room has been many things, but it serves as our homeschool room, our game playing room, our office. It serves all sorts of purposes. So I just made very simple curtains. I just sewed down the sides to make a nice edge, made a nice rod pocket at the top to hang it with a little ruffle sticking up, and then just hemmed the bottom. But I will say that this fabric was exceptionally wrinkly. I brought it home and I washed it and I gently dried it, and it was wrinkly, so I ironed it, and that still didn't take out the wrinkles, so I ironed it again. I finally just had to sew it with it being a little wrinkly still, and then I hung it up for several days, hoping that gravity would take out most of the wrinkles. It helped slightly, but not much. And then I ironed the whole thing again, and then I flipped it over and ironed the other side again. And it's almost there, but it's still not wrinkle-free. This was the toughest fabric, and I finally just got tired of spending my life ironing, so I figure eventually all the wrinkles will fall out. I may need to invest in some sort of clothes steamer or something. But anyway, I'm pleased with how they turned out. I just love the fabric. I love how the blue in there pulls out the blue of the walls, but then it also adds in other springy colors as well. This last find was not a thrift find. It was actually a bit of a splurge, and I hardly ever buy vintage or antique quilts at full price. I often find them at thrift stores or discounted at antique stores. But this one, when I saw it, I just knew that I really wanted to add it to my collection. I was at the antique store and I glanced across the way a bit and saw this beautiful antique yellow and white quilt hanging there. And it is antique actually. It's about 100 years old and it has some initials and a little date stitched in the corner. And it's in great condition. And I don't have anything like this in my collection. Most of mine are blue and white or have some pink in them. So I just thought this yellow It's a very buttery yellow too. Would be a beautiful spring addition to my quilt collection. I have a number of exterior spring projects planned of varying sizes, so I hope you'll stay tuned for those. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss them. And as always, thank you so much for watching. It wouldn't be nearly as fun without you here. And I will see you next time.